Welcome to this Farming Simulator 25 guide. In this video, we'll go through everything you need to know about growing carrots. We'll start by preparing an empty field for planting, then move on to seeding carrots and optimizing for a full 100% yield bonus. Next, we'll compare different carrot harvesters to see which one performs best. Finally, we'll cover the steps needed to prepare a harvested field for the next planting cycle. Stay tuned to learn all the key details for efficient carrot farming in FS25. I'll be using the same 1.03 hectare field from my previous videos for this test. The field was previously harvested for barley, and now we'll prepare it for carrot planting. Even though the game doesn't show a needs liming warning, fields lose a 5% yield bonus after each harvest due to lime depletion. That's why we're starting by applying lime to restore maximum efficiency. The next step is fertilizing. In FS25, if you apply fertilizer before cultivating, you can fertilize again right after planting to achieve double-stage fertilization. This way, you don't have to wait until the next month for the second fertilization stage. The next step is mulching. This process will provide a 2.5% yield bonus, further improving the field's efficiency. The next step is plowing the field before planting. There is a special piece of equipment available in the store specifically for preparing fields for carrot planting. Let's test it out first. It didn't make any visible changes to the soil. I'll stop the process here and try planting directly to see if it actually worked. To plant carrots, you need a special planter found under the vegetable planter category in the store. The planter isn't working on this field, which means the equipment we use to prepare the soil doesn't function properly on a mulched field. Let's test it on different field conditions to see where it actually works. First, let's test it on a plowed field. As you can see, it works properly in this condition. Next, let's test it on a harvested field. As you can see, it doesn't work in this condition. Finally, let's test it on a cultivated field. Just like on a plowed field, it works here as well. So, this equipment is used to prepare plowed or cultivated fields for vegetable planting. But can we plant carrots directly on a cultivated field without using this equipment? Let's test it and find out. Now, we'll plant carrots on both the area prepared with this equipment and a regular cultivated area to see if there's any difference between them. As you can see, we were able to plant carrots on both areas, and the yield bonuses are the same. This confirms that you can plant carrots by simply cultivating the field without needing this extra equipment. Finally, let's check if we can plant directly on a plowed field. And yes, we can. This confirms that the equipment is only used to prepare plowed or cultivated fields for planting, but you can plant directly without it in both cases. This makes me think that in FS25, this equipment serves more of a visual purpose rather than having a real functional advantage. Then, the best approach is to cultivate the field using a standard cultivator and proceed with planting our carrots.
Stumbling home, we don't know where we're going. Should've turned back hours ago. Out of our minds, I guess we're sleeping outside. You're still a good time, even in the cold. Get out the road, I told you. A car's coming, I stop you. You know I always got you. You know I always got you.
Cultivating is complete, and now it's time for planting. This planter only holds 32 liters of seeds, but since carrot planting requires very little seed per hectare, a single fill covers a similar area as an average planter.
Guess we need a new plan. There's a motel a mile down the road. Finally can stand, backed and still looking for dry land. Jump on my back, I'll take you home.
Planting is complete. We used 10.34 liters of seeds for the 1.03 hectare field, meaning that approximately 1 liter of seeds is required per hectare. This also means that a single seed tank can cover around 3.2 hectares of land. Next, we'll apply the second layer of fertilizer and perform weeding next month. Rolling isn't necessary for vegetable crops, as the 2.5% yield bonus from rolling is automatically granted. The harvest time for carrots is 4 months after planting, so since we planted in April, we'll be able to harvest in August.
You know I always got you. You know I always got you. Push it to the side, even if it means that I die. I wouldn't hesitate about it, wouldn't even think about it. I know I really love you.
And now, it's harvest time. There are 4 main options for harvesting carrots. The first option is a trailer-mounted harvester that attaches to a tractor and has no onboard storage. I won't be testing that one in this video. The second option, which I'll be testing now, is the dual skeeves. This harvester also has no onboard storage, meaning you need to let an AI helper control it while you drive a tractor with a trailer alongside to collect the harvested carrots. This method can range from difficult to nearly impossible, especially on irregularly shaped fields. If you want to see how that plays out, check out my red beet harvest video, linked in the top right corner and the description. I'm turning off crop destruction here, but in reality, driving over the field during harvest doesn't damage the carrots. This trailer doesn't fit under the harvester's conveyor belt in its current setup, so I'll remove the extension. However, when you first activate the harvester, the conveyor starts at its lowest position. If you raise it before handing control over to the AI helper, it will stay in that position, allowing you to use taller trailers with this machine. In FS25, the AI helper works by staying within the field boundaries, regardless of whether there's empty space around it. As you can see here, this causes issues on 90-degree turns, where the harvester tries to create extra space by cutting into the corners before repositioning itself. This behavior makes it extremely difficult to keep a trailer alongside the harvester at all times. Because of this, I don't recommend using this harvester for carrot harvesting. The next option is a trailer-type harvester that attaches to a tractor and has its own onboard storage. Since it has a built-in tank, you don't need to constantly drive a tractor with a trailer alongside it. If you prefer not to use an AI helper, you can handle the entire harvesting process manually and unload the harvester into a trailer or storage when it gets full. The first issue with this harvester is related to how the GPS system in FS25 works. With the built-in GPS, you need to drive your tractor into the field before the guidance lines appear, and you can lock onto them. This makes initial alignment tricky for most equipment. However, this harvester comes with an additional challenge. If, like me, you prefer to harvest clockwise to keep the tractor and harvester off the unharvested carrots and have the conveyor facing outward, your tractor won't enter the field during the first few headlands. As a result, you won't be able to use GPS until later in the process. But the real problem is that harvesting carrots with this machine takes forever. This brings us to the final and best harvesting solution: the Roper Tiger 6S Premium from the Tiger 6S Root Crops mod. According to my research, this machine exists in real life, but is only designed for harvesting sugar beets. However, in this mod, it can harvest all root crops, including potatoes. It features a powerful 796 horsepower engine and a 43 cubic meters storage capacity. The harvester is equipped with a 4-meter wide header that operates at a maximum speed of 10 kilometers per hour, making it the most efficient option for carrot harvesting. Of course, despite its massive price tag, it's still significantly slower than harvesting standard crops like wheat or canola. Harvesting is complete, and it took 33 minutes and 26 seconds. From the 1.03 hectare field, we collected 159,277 liters of carrots, which means the yield per hectare is 154,637 liters. As you may know, crops are usually harvested when their market prices are at their lowest. To maximize profits, you need to store them until prices rise. This brings us to another challenge of root crop farming. You can't store root crops in standard silos, so, to store them, you either need to dump them in an open space, set up a shed like the one you see here, or use one of the multi-fruit silo mods. If you store them in an open space or inside a shed, you'll need to load them onto a trailer using a belt system, a front loader with a bucket, or the unrealistic but very efficient mod that I'll show you shortly. The belt system requires minimal effort but takes a long time. Using a front loader with a bucket is both tedious and time-consuming. However, this mod you see here is far from realistic, but incredibly fast and easy to use. This harvest brought in €74,722, meaning the income per hectare for carrot harvesting is approximately €72,550. Now, it's time to prepare the field for the next planting. If periodic plowing is enabled, a field harvested for carrots will switch to the needs plow state. After harvesting carrots, there's nothing left to mulch. But I'm hopeful that the weeds appearing before the next planting season might count as mulch. Let's see if that works. The game marked the entire field as mulched, but I don't think this is due to the weeds, since even the areas without weeds were counted as mulched. The second step is plowing the field. We do this after mulching because if we plowed first, there would be nothing left to mulch. The third step is collecting the stones that appear while plowing. However, if the field stone option is disabled, this step won't be necessary.
Look at those palm trees, damn!
The fourth and fifth steps are applying lime and fertilizing the field. Since fields lose 5% yield bonus after each harvest due to lime depletion, applying lime is necessary for maintaining a 100% yield bonus. Even if the needs lime warning doesn't appear, I fertilize before planting so that I can apply the second layer of fertilizer right after planting, eliminating the need to wait until the next month. I won't show these steps again here, but once completed, you can plant carrots or any other crop of your choice. After fertilizing, you'll achieve a 100% yield bonus. Since the field was plowed, no weeds will grow, meaning there's no need for weeding. That wraps up our complete guide to carrot farming in Farming Simulator 25. We covered everything from field preparation to harvesting and post-harvest field management. I hope this video helps you maximize your yield and efficiency. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.